Hello, I'm Amy Gadiaga, a composer, vocalist, and bass player. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about some of the artists that deeply moved me, so stay tuned. The first artist we're going to talk about is Wayne Shorter. Wayne Shorter is an artist that I got introduced to later on in life when I first started conservatoire. I really started to listen to it during the first lockdown, actually, when nothing was happening and I was just in my room exploring music. He was one of my main discoveries, as I knew him before, but really got deep. I got introduced to the album Atlantis and then went on with High Life, which is now my favorite album by Wayne Shorter. He's mostly known for his saxophone playing, but I personally love him for his compositional work as it's so healing for me. And then I discovered that he was actually into sound bath and sound healing, so it made total sense. The second artist is Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is one of my favorite of all time. He's a true genius for me, and I do not use this word lightly usually, but I have to give it to him. One of the things that really impressed me the most about him is the fact that when he first joined Motown, which was his first label, he could only play bongos and went in to learn all these different instruments, mainly piano and organ. I love the way how he would turn very common themes into intricate pieces of music. That's why he's one of my number ones. Number 3 now, Betty Carter, who is definitely my favorite jazz singer. She's bold, she's fresh, she's extravagant, and she's very unique. She's also a very uncompromising artist, and when critics were suggesting that she would switch her style in order to get more sales and sustain a career, she decided to still do her thing, and now she's considered one of the most influential jazz singers of all time. Number 4, Esperanza Spalding, who is one of the most influential artists in my personal journey. I'm a bassist and singer, and I can't talk about this without talking about Esperanza Spalding, who I came across on YouTube, as most people, I guess, like 5 years ago, and ever since I've never turned back. She definitely inspired me to pick up the bass and sing at the same time, which is a skill that I'm still learning to do. On top of that, she's a great composer and is deeply inspired by Wayne Shorter, as I am. And the last one, but not least, is Jaco Pastorius. I think as an electric bassist, a lot of us had this Jaco phase where we would learn Tin Town and Sheds and get nowhere. But he's still very influential in my journey. I just love his expressiveness and how deep he got into his performances and his crafts. He was also a very troubled young man, but channeled it all in his art. And his story is just very fascinating. So I love Jaco for that. And my favorite song of his is Hocus Pocus from his first self-titled album. There will also be links to all of these artists that you can check out anytime down below, so please check it. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Amy Gadiaga, and just to summarize, we've been talking about 3 tutorials. The first one was about how to get started as a self-taught musician. Then we saw how we can get into getting inspired and keeping inspired. And then the last tutorial was about my top 5 favorite musicians. So I hope that all of this is going to give you hope and, I guess, guidance to start your musical journey or just to keep going.